Good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. I hope all is going well for you and yours. I wanted to personally get up here and say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking out this video. All I ask is that if you like what you're listening to, please share it on all your different platforms. Share it with your friends. Just let them know that Size Healthy University is all about educating, empowering, and improving physical activity. So I hope you're doing well. Today's lesson is going to be on exercise tips. I have 15 exercise tips that I wanted to personally address with you. I've written them down, but I wanted to personally bring them to your attention because a lot of times we don't know where to start. And in the process of doing our start, we kind of we get sidetracked or we don't know what the next step is. So I have 15 different exercise tips depending on where you are in your journey, depending where you are in your fitness, on your fitness level, nutrition level. If you're trying to get started and you just need a little bit of oomph, then I hope that this video will help you get there. So 15 exercise tips. The first one is set goals and make a plan. Setting goals and making a plan. A lot of times we just want to start. We don't have a specific way of starting. We don't have a goal in mind. We don't put any type of specifics involved when we're trying to make a goal. So you want to first set goals and make a plan. Have specific, measurable goals to give you a clear direction along with a plan to get there. So make sure that in your setting that you're being specific and measurable and attainable, and know that that goal that you have is reachable, and give yourself a time limit, a timetable more say. And when I say a timetable, a lot of times we just like, oh, as long as I lose 100 pounds by the end of the year, I'll be good. No, what's the short-term goal? How many pounds do you want to lose in the first quarter, or in the first 30 to 45 days? Whatever that looks like for you, make sure it's specific. The second exercise tip is consistency. Now, this right here is the key to success. Make it a habit to get moving on a regular basis. So if you haven't been moving on a regular basis, your consistency is not up to par. So I want you to make sure that that you're consistent with what you want to do. You just made a plan. How are you going to um, put that plan into action if there's no consistency whatsoever going on? Don't start today and then next week, like, you give up. Be consistent with what you want and you'll see the goal, you'll reach the goal at the end. The next one is get a buddy. Now, accountability is key. And we don't, as women, we sometimes don't like to work out by ourselves because it gets boring. We need that extra motivation, that extra push. And if we have someone, even when we don't want to do it, if we have that other person right beside us saying, hey, let's go, you get it, I'm coming to pick you up. We're going to the gym at this time. We're going for a walk at this time. We're going to go run at this park at this time. Make sure that you have an accountability partner. Do what you like. Now, this one right here is very key. Do what you like, meaning don't go out here and try to do all these different things that you know you don't care for or don't love. Like, for instance, I'll give you a perfect example. I do not like being on the stairs. I do know they're beneficial and they will help me, but I'm not about to be on those stairs for an hour. It is so boring. Do something that you love. I love to lift. What do you love to do? Do you love to dance? Do you love to walk? Do you love to run? Whatever it is that you love to do, use that motivation, that love motivation to get moving. Make appointments. Make weekly appointments with yourself to exercise and keep them. So that goes back to setting those goals. When are you going to exercise? Then be consistent with that exercise. Then find a buddy that's going to help you be consistent with that exercise. Then make sure you're doing what you like. So as you see, as I go down this list, these exercise tips, they start to reflect the one before. So again, we said do what you like, make appointments. The first step was what? Set goals and make a plan. So if you're setting goals and making a plan and you're going to do what you like, how often are you going to do what you like? Are you going to be consistent with that? And then being consistent, do you need a buddy? And if you do need a buddy, How often are you and your buddy going to work out? You see how that all just flowed? It all just went together. Now, that next one, notebook. It is very key, very important to document what you're doing. Now, when I first started on my journey, I was documenting in my fitness pal. I was very, very, very anal. I put down everything I ate. I put down everything I did. I even started journaling, saying how I felt in the moment that I was doing it, what happened afterwards. And when you have a notebook, it tells you, you see how stronger you become, how much more you're able to sustain or maintain a certain thing. So when you're documenting, say for instance, if you're trying to learn strength training, it's the perfect key because a lot of women don't strength train. So if you're trying to strength train and you start off with the basics, so let's say the basic exercises in strength train is bicep curls, tricep kickbacks, or a tricep exercise. You have a bent over row that works your back, and then you have squats. Lunges are in there too, but most time it's more like bicep, tricep, squats, back, stuff like that. So in that journey, you might start at the beginning. You might start with 3 sets of 15 at 5 pounds. And that's all you can do at that point for your bicep and triceps. You're not really on a squat rack for a squat. So maybe you're just doing body weight squats by themselves. And then you gradually start adding some type of resistance to it, be it the bar, be it a dumbbell, a kettlebell, whatever the case may be. But as you progress and as you go throughout your journey, you will see that now you have gotten stronger and you're no longer doing 3 sets of 15. Maybe you're doing 4 sets of 10 and your weight has increased. So maybe you're no longer doing 5 pounds, but now you're doing 10 to 12 pounds. If you're real fancy, maybe you got to 15. So it all depends on the person, on you, who you are, what you want to do what you like, consistency, and if that's part of your plan. Document all of that in your notebook. The next thing is equipment. Good shoes, comfortable clothes, a water bottle, and your body is all you need to get started. All the other stuff is extra. So, a good pair of shoes, something that's a cross trainer if you're doing cardio and weights. If you're only doing weights, a good flat sole shoe to help you with your squats. Um, Comfortable clothes, meaning something that you ain't constantly pulling on, something that you ain't got to keep um, tugging with. Make sure you got a comfortable bra or the bright bra, because a lot of times women, we don't want to run because we're afraid of our boobs just going all over the place, or we're trying to squat but we don't have squat proof pants on because they keep falling down or they're showing the top part of our butt, the butt crack, or whatever the case may be. So I really want to be real and honest with you in this journey with these exercise tips, because a lot of times people put exercise tips out there and they're just like, oh, just do this, just do that. No, I'm going to walk you through these tips, but I also want to make sure I explain them so that you understand. All you need is a good pair of shoes. You need a good, clothes that are workout clothes, a towel. That's all you need. Equipment, if you're going to the gym, the equipment's already there. But if you're at home and you're doing home workouts, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy all this lavish stuff, or fancy stuff. You don't need all that. Sometimes if you all you have is a water bottle, some canned goods, anything, you got stairs to do, go up and down the stairs, whatever it is that you need, make sure you have that. But please know that you don't have to go all out. In the beginning, I had my legs and my arms. That's it. I ran all the time. I did what I liked. I was consistent with it. I got up every morning at 3, was out the door by 4 to do my run. I went to the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning, did what I needed to do, and went back home. I was still consistent. The only thing I did not have was a buddy. I did everything on my own, by myself, made my way up to the gym, but I stayed consistent. And another word is going to come up, but I'll wait until we get to the end of that. But remember, set goals, make a plan. Consistency is key. Get a buddy, do what you like, make appointments, have a notebook, need equipment, and the next one is warm up. Now, a lot of times we just jump in, which causes ailments. You might pull something, your body's not ready, it's not warmed up, you haven't done anything, and you probably, if you're just starting, you haven't worked out in a while. So, a good warm up, take time to prepare your body for a workout to enhance your performance and prevent injury. Sorry. So, meaning get on the bike for a couple of minutes, row for a couple of minutes, Go for a walk for a couple of minutes, or do a slight jog for one, run a mile, walk a mile. Exercising is all can be unique in every way possible. So it's going to be up to you what you want to do for your warm up, but please make sure you warm your body up before you start diving into your workout so that your body so you can prepare your body before you go into the actual workout. This prevents ailments because what you don't want to do is pull something, your form is off, and all that good stuff. You want to make sure that you have a warm body and it's ready to go. The next thing, I just talked about that proper form. I am a stickler for form because I know how it feels to pull something, can't get up, can't move, can't get wherever, when you can't get up and can't move, guess what? That hinders you from going to work. That hinders you from taking care of your family. That hinders you from doing anything extra because guess what? You are now sitting or being still for a certain time limit or timetable because you need to let whatever happened heal. So, proper form, it prevents injury and the body gets the intended benefit from the exercises. Cool down. Now, when you finish working out, you should always do a cool down. I'll be the first to tell you that I don't always do that when I'm working out myself. Um, but a cool down is great. The last 5 minutes of class or the last 5 minutes of class, you want to make sure that you're cooling yourself down, bringing that heart rate down because if it was up high because you was doing cardio or you were lifting weights, whatever you were doing, you want to make sure that you start cooling that body down so it does not overheat. The next thing is very important when you cool down is the stretching. You need to stretch all major muscle groups when you're done to lessen the soreness, improve mobility and flexibility. Now, I said lessen the soreness. I didn't say you weren't going to be sore, but I did say lessen the soreness. The next one is going to be soreness. So, in soreness, you move your body to get the blood flowing, and in recovering, along with drinking lots of water and fueling your body with proper nutrition, increases intensity gradually. Now, you want to increase intensity gradually when you're stretching. So that means if you can do barely reach your toes, then you want to like keep stretching until you're able to, that flexibility comes back or that mobility of that lower back comes back so that you can get the proper stretch in. But remember, stretching is very important and you will be sore no matter what. Sometimes it's called DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. Now, this happens for some people the day after or the 2 days later. But either way, I always try to encourage that when you have done some lifting or some type of exercise for the first time, that it's best for you to soak. I love Dr. Till's Epsom salt. I love Dr. Till's oil. You can use those two. They have a body wash as well if you don't want to sit and soak in the tub, but you can use the body wash as well. But these things right here helps massage the muscles. It helps lessen the soreness, but you might still be sore. But stretching is very, very, very good. And then I also recommend getting massages because if you get a sports massage or a deep tissue the masseuse is able to get in there and to help you smooth out those areas and work on those areas that might be a little bit tight. Now, recovery. Take one step back to gain two steps forward. So take time out from your usual workout routine to stretch, like I said, have a massage, do mobility work, or just take a long walk in nature. So that's another great way of cooling down. You can go for a walk. It's also a great way to warm up. You can go for a walk. I do not recommend running to cool down. If you've ran 3 or 4 miles, that last half a mile, if you know you're about to be done, go ahead and start tapering off to get into the mood of trying to cool down and helping you with your recovery process. But again, recovery process depends on the individual and that person will have to do what works for them. I highly recommend a masseuse. I go to one faithfully. Um, if you're a person who works out all the time, if you're an athlete who does a whole bunch of different things, then I highly recommend you going to the masseuse. Now, number 14, Improve your nutrition. Now, they say that abs are made in the kitchen. So that means it's 80% of what you eat and 20% of what you do. Exercising is great, but if you don't have time to exercise, as long as you have your nutrition on point, you will still see the weight come off. You will still make gains, but you have to be consistent with your nutrition. Now, I like to develop lifestyles. I don't believe in diets. I don't believe in you restricting your body from anything unless it's something that you just really don't want to eat because you know it's a trigger. If it's not a trigger and you want to develop a lifestyle because you know maybe one day or you know maybe on the weekend you like to splurge, have pizza, um, chips or soda, whatever the case may be, have a balance. We need a balance in our life when it comes to working out. And a lot of people don't know how to do that because all we've been taught was we need to go on a diet. We have not been taught how to establish a lifestyle. We have not been taught on the things that make us to enjoy food. Food was put on this earth for us to eat. Now you have GMO and all these other different things that have came out because of man-made, because it was man-made. However, God put this food on earth for us to eat, and we're supposed to enjoy it, not overindulge in it, not restrict our bodies from it just because we're scared what it might do. A lot of times it might be beneficial for you to eat whatever it is that you're trying not to eat. And then also the other thing is I hate the word. I won't say I hate, but I hear the word all the time, I can't. What can't you do? Who said you can't have that? I'll give you a little tidbit about myself. I was a vegetarian for a good 4 years and I changed. I started eating meat, but it was like because everyone knew that I was a vegetarian, it was you can't have that. Or because I'm a trainer and I train women as well as training myself, it is, oh, you can't have that. And I'm like, why can't I have it? I said, I'm not on a diet. This is my lifestyle. If I decide I wanted to have my favorite candy is Starburst. So if I decide I want to have some Starburst, I'm gonna eat some Starburst. Do you know how many calories it takes for you just to maintain your weight? Over 2,000. And then we taper off a lot of times. So I think my calorie intake just to maintain it is probably like 2,500, 2,600 calories. Do I eat that much? Of course not. However, if I'm on living a lifestyle of health, I'm not really focused on 2,500 calories a day. However, I am enjoying whatever I would like to eat and not thinking about those calories. But I've been in this game for over 10 years. So I've learned what works for me. You have to learn what works for you. So don't necessarily say, I can't have. Find out the back end of why you decided you can't have. And that goes back into another um, video that I'll do later is your why. Why can't you have it? Are you saying you can't have it because you don't have discipline? Or are you saying you can't have it because the doctor said you couldn't have it? Are you saying you can't have it because you don't like how it makes you feel after you eat it? These are the things that we really need to be careful about when we open our mouth and say, I can't. Because a lot of times it's not that we can't, it's that we are not willing to eat it because we don't know how to establish the discipline that is needed to only eat the piece, the part that you're craving for, and be able to put the rest back. I'll tell you one thing. I can commend foodies, meaning the people who love to go try different restaurants and eat and enjoy and not overindulge. I could commend them because I know a lot of them who just like to go to restaurants. They just like to go to restaurants and try different foods. And so when you do things like that, you setting yourself up for a lifestyle. It's like you're not on a diet. You're actually trying different things and seeing if you like it or not. And I think that's the problem. We put out there that we can't do certain things, and 9 times out of 10, we haven't even tried it. But I get it. It is mental. It is very mental. And how we think is going to determine what we do. So if you think you can't have it and you're living a lifestyle of restrictions and being on a diet for the rest of your life, there's going to, at some point, there's going to be a struggle on, oh, do I want it or do I not want it? Because I'll be the first one to tell you, a lot of times when I'm in the grocery store, I will read the nutritional value on the back of just about everything I pick up if it's something that I really want. So I'll say if it's some Oreos that I want, I'm gonna look on the back of the package to see how many carbs is in this. Am I willing to eat all these carbs or the serving size? The serving size is very important, so make sure you're looking at the serving size. But am I willing to eat whatever the serving size says for these carbs? Or is this going to be a trigger for me and I'm going to end up eating the whole package? So here's my thing. Instead of eating a whole package of Oreos, I might get like the little bucket that has the mini Oreos in it. Or I'll get the thins, the Oreo thins. Or just the other day, I saw that they had Oreo cookies gluten free. Now, I had to think about this for a minute. I looked on the back of the cookies, and this is not something I don't buy these cookies on a regular. I'm actually buying them to make a recipe for the athletes. But I wanted to look and see what the gluten free one was, and I really couldn't tell the difference. Besides the fact that it probably wouldn't just make you bloated and you won't feel like nauseous or sick to your stomach. But I didn't. I feel like when we go to the extreme to change food so that people can enjoy it or eat it, that we're actually adding more to it than actually what was in there. So be careful and on your nutrition. Be careful. Read your nutritional dietary stuff on the back and decide for you if this is something that you're willing to eat. So that was 14. The last one is 15. How often do I train? I hear this all the time. It depends on your goals. It depends on what your goal is, what your timetable is for reaching that goal, and what you're willing to do to get to that goal. So, depends on your goals. Strength training at least 2 to 3 days a week. Add in energy training on your days off to burn more fat and improve your cardiovascular system. I will tell you though, it depends on your goal, but also in your goals, if cardio and strength training is part of it, make sure you do your strength training first and then do your cardio because that would help you burn fat because you're already burning fat from your strength training. So when you add the cardio in, you're not necessarily, you're still burning and it helps with weight loss. So those are the 15 tips. And the last thing I want to tell you is just establish a lifestyle. Times have changed, things have gotten better. They're still doing bigger, and bigger things with our foods. Remember when you go to 7-Eleven, you can get the big gulp. They always ask you if you want to supersize, if you want to go large. Nowadays, a large is more so a medium, and a medium is more so a small, and the large is actually an extra large. So, be careful and just, choose wisely. It's your goal, it's your body, um it's your goal. So if that's your goal, uh, and that's your plan, then go ahead. So remember what I said. Everything that I just gave you, these 15 exercise tips that I gave you, they started off small and gradually increased at the beginning. So we're going to take a quick recap over what I just said. The first one was set a goal, make a plan. The second one was consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. The third one was get a buddy. The fourth one was do what you like. Don't forget, do what you like so that you don't stop. You keep going because it's something that you like to do. Make appointments, meaning make appointment with yourself. When you're planning your planner, put in your planner. I'm going to the gym. Highlight it this time. Make appointments with yourself. Today I'm drinking whatever. Set how many cups of water you're going to drink. Make appointments with yourself. Remember, document. Document in that notebook so you can see how far you've come, and then you can also see how far you have to go. Equipment. Remember, you don't need everything. You need a good pair of shoes, workout clothes. I will say a towel as well because I'm a sweater. So if you're a sweater, get you a good towel, get to the gym and do whatever you do. Warm up. Don't forget, you got to warm up. Make sure you have proper form. Make sure you cool down. Make sure you stretch. Be aware of your soreness. Make sure you have recovery time, meaning don't be, if you did strength training on Monday, don't do it again until Wednesday, and then don't do it again until Friday if you're doing 3 days a week. Then improve your nutrition. Remember what I said, abs are made in the kitchen. So make sure that you're trying to eat healthy, not be on a diet, but be healthy. And then how often do you want to train? When do you want to train? Who you're going to train with? How are you going to train? And what is the goal? And then the last thing that I want to remind you is remember, this is a lifestyle. This is not a diet. We are no longer on diet. We're no longer back in the 70s and the 80s. Things have changed. There's a lot of things out there that can assist you on reaching your goal. But remember, training is very important, but recovery is very important as well. So if you're working out, according to the Heart Association, you only need 150 minutes a week to do your training. or to just to sustain a good heart. So it is very important that you make sure that you are working out. I don't care if it's not just walking. If you got to start off walking for 10, 15 minutes to get in your routine, then you do what you need to do. Everyone has to start somewhere. Don't compare your journey to someone who's already been doing this, but all you can always ask people, "Hey, how did you start? What did you do?" And I guarantee you they will tell you that in the beginning of their journey, it was hard, but they stayed consistent, they established a discipline, and they had the motivation to keep moving. Thank you so much for tuning in to Size Health University. I hope that I said something that will encourage you and that will also empower you and also and help you improve your physical activity. Please don't hesitate to like and then please share it with other people. Please let them know that Size Health University is all about encouraging and educating women on how to live a healthy lifestyle. It doesn't matter where you started. It doesn't matter how you started, just as long as you start.